My name is Tim Sutinen from PrivacyProShop.com. So, you have your TrueNAS system on your network and now you need secure access to it to manage it from the outside. The typical choice is to open a VPN connection to your VPN router or use the OpenVPN server in the TrueNAS system and forward a port to the TrueNAS box. But what if you don't have access to the firewall router? Or maybe you have lots of TrueNAS boxes to manage and don't feel like setting up a VPN in every office. Or maybe you don't have a VPN router and don't want to expose any ports to the public internet. Whatever the case, there is another way. It's called Lokinet, and it's pretty cool. Lokinet is a low-latency, onion-routed, decentralized IP-based overlay network for the internet. If you want to learn more about Lokinet itself, please visit lokinet.org. I have Lokinet installed on all of the systems I work with, so it was only natural to get my TrueNAS Scale box to connect to Lokinet. Connecting TrueNAS Scale to Lokinet has some benefits. Number one, you don't need to deal with firewalls or VPNs to manage your TrueNAS boxes. Simply install Lokinet and securely connect to any and all TrueNAS servers you manage. There is no way for anyone to try to guess your address, as Lokinet uses 52-character random alphanumeric addresses. Number two, Lokinet is really easy to use. Instead of IP addresses or DNS names, you simply use Lokinet addresses or Lokinet ONS names. That's it. Traffic will be routed over the Lokinet. Number three, Lokinet is encrypted at the protocol level, so you don't have to worry about plain text traffic being intercepted. HTTP is every bit as secure as HTTPS, or plain old rsync daemon is every bit as secure as rsync over SSH, and might even be slightly faster. Number four, Lokinet is free to use. Number five, Lokinet is decentralized and utilizes a network that has over 1,700 service nodes providing routing and bandwidth. If you want to find out more about Lokinet and its underlying Oxen network, check out this video up here. Number six, Lokinet is onion routed, so nobody can trace your traffic over it. Number seven, if you wish to use human-readable addresses, you can purchase .loki domain names, something like mytruenas-1984.loki. Purchased .loki domains get stored in the Oxen blockchain, which is obfuscated, so there is no way for anyone to know that you purchased a certain name. You can buy .loki domains in 1, 2, 5, and 10-year terms with Oxen cryptocurrency by using the Oxen wallet app. If you don't have Oxen cryptocurrency, you can go to PrivacyProShop.com and purchase .loki domain names with credit cards or anonymously with most major cryptos like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Monero. The purchase is fast and easy, and the name assignment happens immediately. And if your Lokinet address changes, you can change the address mapping later. You should be able to get between 5 and 15 megabits per second throughput over Lokinet using TCP protocols in its current iteration, and a lot more in the future as Lokinet improves. So, it's not very fast yet, but still usable for managing a TrueNAS system with a web browser or SSH, and synchronizing smaller datasets using rsync, syncthing, or ZFS replication. TrueNAS tries to protect you from yourself by deleting certain changes, such as addition of users and groups when not done from the GUI. So there are a few extra steps that need to be done. TrueNAS also prevents you from using apt and depackage by marking them non-executable. There will be some commands here, so I'll make this also available as a written guide with the commands. Link will be in the description below. So, let's get to it. All right, here we have a brand new TrueNAS installation. It's version TrueNAS Scale 22.12.2. The latest is 22.12.3. However, this is the latest ISO that they have on the site as of today. First, we need to enable SSH so we can log in and install Lokinet. Here's SSH. Look at the configuration. Allow root with password. In this case, unless you want to do a key login, which is better, but I don't feel like doing it right now. And start it again after reboot. And go and enable root password. So you go to local users, root, edit, and give it a password. And save it. Then the next order of business is to SSH into the TrueNAS box. Then we'll need to enable apt by changing the execute bit on both apt and on dpackage. And then we'll set up the Oxen repository to be able to install Lokinet. Then it's time to install Lokinet. Then we will want to check what username and group settings were assigned by the Lokinet installer. So if we do cat/etc/password grep Loki, that'll show us that it created the _Lokinet user with the user ID of 128 and group ID of 132. So we want to make a note of that. So 128 and 132. We can also look at the group file, but it'll be 132 anyway. Yep, it's _Loki. So username is Lokinet, group name is _Loki. Now that we know that, let's reboot the system and it should clobber those away. System is back up, so let's log into it. And if we look at the, yep, it's been clobbered. And group has been clobbered too. That is just fine. So then we'll switch over to the web interface side. First, we need to create a group. So we'll go to the local groups, click add, group ID 132. The name is _Loki, and click save. Then go to credentials, local users, click add. Full name is _Lokinet. Disable password. The user ID is 128. Do not create a new primary group. Instead, search for Loki from here. The _Loki we just created. Click save. There we have it. Now it's time to go back to the command line for a while. Here we'll verify that Lokinet starts. So do system control, restart Lokinet. And if everything is okay, it'll just come back to the pound prompt. Next one, we need to set up the permanent Lokinet address. You need to edit this file. Go under the network heading. Go under key file, take that hash mark off of here, and add this var lib Lokinet and any file name for this, for instance, TrueNAS.addr. Save the file. Now we should be able to restart Lokinet and it should give us a permanent address. There it is. And then we can find out what the permanent address is with this command. And that is your permanent Lokinet address. 52 characters, random. Make a note of that. So copy that. And we should now be able to access the web interface of the TrueNAS box over Lokinet. And there it is in all of its glory. We can also use SSH to log into the box. Again, here we are. We can check the status of Lokinet, for instance. There it is. It's up and running, active. If you need help with installing Lokinet, I've made several videos and installation guides about it. Please check out the links in the description below. If you upgrade the TrueNAS software, like I did from 22.12.2 to 22.12.3, the upgrade completely blew away Lokinet, so I had to reinstall it again, so keep that in mind. And if that happens, your address will also change. So when you create the new permanent address, it'll be different from the one that you created before. The system is quite usable. You can create new pools. So Lokinet works pretty well, and this is, again, from anywhere in the world. All you need to do is to have the Lokinet client installed and know the address, this one right here, and you're golden. No VPNs, no firewall, messing with firewalls. Pop that address in and you're good to go. That's the magic of Lokinet. For more videos on digital privacy, open source tech, Lokinet, Session Messenger, and Oxen cryptocurrency, please check out some of the other videos on this channel. If you would like to support this channel, please go over to privacyproshop.com and check out our offerings like anonymous VPN over Lokinet exit nodes, nemomail.me, which is an anonymous email service, as well as Session Messenger ONS names and Lokinet.loki domain names. And that's all she wrote. Have a happy day.